Hello, Scorpio. I almost called you Pisces. Good grief. You are getting your extra bonus reading for the next 4 weeks. We're going to check and see. We're going to use the Mystic Garbage here, or at least the Mystic Garbage Tarot, and we are going to see what is stressing you out. So I've done a pre-shuffle off screen, and let's see what it is that is stressing you out, what's eating at you that you maybe aren't talking about with other people or sure what's going on. All right, I thought I had one flip over. Must have tried to. Okay, let's see, what else for Scorpio? For their bonus reading is stressing them out. What is stressing Scorpio out? Is there anything else? This is a bit of a graphic deck. I will give you a forewarning just in case anything does happen to come up. But I do love the cards. I like that guy. Oh, you'll like this one. All right, anything else that is stressing out Scorpio? You do have a major arcana, and it will relate to Jupiter. I've got Pisces on the brain. My North Node is in Pisces, and Jupiter did just move into the sign of Pisces, so we are a little daydreamy. And this actually goes hand in hand with, interesting. It goes hand in hand with Jupiter being in Pisces, by the way. All right, anything else for Scorpio? Anything else for Scorpio for their bonus reading of what is stressing you out? I will do a money one, but I will do that one a little bit closer to the end of the month, just so it will cover an extended 4 weeks. So it's almost like you get a money reading for June. You kind of know what's playing out with your money right now. So I'll do that one at the end of the month, simply because I know there's a lot going on in the cosmos at the end of May. But I will stop talking about that and let's start talking about the cards. So on the bottom of the deck, what is kind of the background influencing you and what you are stressed out about? We have the 9 of Wands, and as you can see, this poor cat, he looks like he's been beaten up and had around taken out of him, and that's exactly what the 9 of Wands feels like. This is the wounded warrior. You may want to check what your Chiron sign is. Now you can go to several different free websites to check what your birth chart is for astrology. My favorite one to use is cafeastrology.com. You will need to know your time of birth in order to find your rising sign. Now, if you're not interested in finding out what your rising sign is, then you don't need your time of birth. You do need your date and place of birth, though. So find your Chiron and see what sign that is in, because right now, the wounded warrior, that is Chiron's influence, as Chiron is also the wounded warrior in the cosmos. In the tarot, though, the wounded warrior does pick himself up to get back in the game again, regardless of the injuries or wounds that have been inflicted. Now, all of this talk about Jupiter and Jupiter being in the sign of Pisces, well, we have the card of the Wheel of Fortune. It's the major arcana card, and you're wondering when things are going to start turning in your favor. You may start seeing some influences come in soon, so check what your Jupiter sign is, and that's important to also know your birth chart, to know what sign your Jupiter sign is, so you can always check what the other signs forecasts are to see what is happening with that particular planetary influence and the sign. I know it's really confusing. Get your birth chart, and if you want to know about your money, then you can check your Venus sign. Venus is more about love. Jupiter is more about your luck. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune, and right now what is stressing you out is When are things going to start turning in your favor? Now, with Jupiter in Pisces, that is a fellow water sign. You may have a bit of a ripple effect where you are seeing a little bit of good luck start shining down on you, turning in your favor, but try not to stress out too much. This is, as you can see in the corner right here, it's the number 10. 10s are always the end of a cycle in the tarot. So whatever bad luck cycles you feel like you may have been in, there's good probability that your luck is about to change in the near future, but right now, that's what's stressing you out. What else is stressing you out? 3 of Cups. This is a possible third-party situation if it is involving your love life. Now, I did do your bonus love reading last week. That is already up under the channel, so feel free to go have a look. But with the 3 of Cups, it's also wanting to be able to get back in touch with your friends and have a celebration. And that is stressing you out if you are in a place where there are isolation, mandatory stay-at-home orders type thing happening. And yeah, you're stressed out about not being able to get close to the people that you love and want to celebrate. If that's something for love, though, you could be concerned about a third-party situation, meaning cheater. If there's a cheating situation, and when I say third-party situation, I mean that there is a third person that is unknowingly being brought into the relationship. What else is stressing you? I like this card simply because it does embody, it embodies totally the definition of the card, and that is the 5 of Swords. Now, 5 of Swords, 5s are conflict. Swords talks about what's in your mind. Now, as you can see, these two guys, they're going at her and none too pleased to be disturbed. So there is some conflict that you are worried about, possibly with a significant other, in what you might be getting down and doing the dirty with. But with the 5 of Swords, the one good thing to know, it's all in your head. It is more of a mental conflict rather than a conflict that is happening in the present time. Now, with the 5 of Swords, I'll just show you the card again. With the 5 of Swords, there may have already been a physical blowout, a physical confrontation, or verbal confrontation, hopefully not physical. If it was physical, then get the hell out. I'm going to be blunt when it comes to that type of situation. If you've been in a physical altercation, yeah, leave. There's no other options. Don't even worry about packing up what is left over. Just get out. But if it is an ongoing verbal confrontation, you may have to think about whether it is worth staying in, and you may just want to pack your things and go. Now, we do have 2 more 5s. We have all of the 5s of the minor arcana. So up next, the illustrations in this deck can crack me up sometimes. And we've got the 5 of Pentacles. And again, it's a 5, it's conflict. And what the conflict is you're feeling like you're being shit on, basically. And that could be part of this guy coming in. It could be part of the 5 of Wands, which is coming up next. Now, the 5 of Pentacles is a feeling of lack, even though Pentacles often talks about your money and finances, your employment, and maybe you are being shit on at work because of your current employment status or lack thereof. And there's some concerns, but know that you can always look at other options when it comes to feelings of lack. If you are currently unemployed, keep applying for those jobs. There is hope there if you can keep applying, whether it's a lack of a job or your job's not paying enough. Keep applying, keep looking, keep chasing those dreams, because there is some talk of that coming up. But let's get through kind of the ugly stuff first. And here is the Five of Wands. Here is your true confrontation. This is a battle. This is the battle that is happening. It is an actual conflict that is going to leave you thinking of what your next move is after the conflict, and that you're kind of being left out in the cold and feeling lack. So you do have a lot of conflict, and surprisingly, that is what is stressing you out. Or not surprisingly, I should say. You do have the Devil energy coming up next, and I do believe this is strongly tied to the conflict that is going on around you. So the Devil card is all things that are negative, negative behaviors, negative thought patterns, being addicted to negative thought patterns, and straight up just addictions. So that is stressing you out, whether this is your own behavior or the behavior of somebody around you. And that is really strongly tied into all of this conflict. When is your luck going to turn? Is there a cheating situation? And that in itself may have led to the confrontation and the conflict. But there is some hope on the horizon. We do have the Magician. Now, the Magician is the creator, the manifester, and the alchemist. And the meaning for, or the description for this particular card, this is also the card of Gemini and or Virgo, depending on who you kind of subscribe to and get your information from. Both signs are represented with the Magician, and the Magician in this deck is represented by the unicorn, which is a magical creature. And what is stressing you out is maybe your manifestations and your wishes and hopes and dreams. Wishes and hopes and dreams with the Star card. You've been wishing and hoping and dreaming and trying to create and manifest, and you're stressed out that it's not happening. And you're worried that this cycle is never ending. Well, you've got the world here, and the world is literally in the palm of your hands. Now, the world is also the last of the major arcana, so it is the end of a cycle. So you start off wondering when the Wheel of Fortune is going to turn in your favor. Here's an interesting concept that a lot of people in the tarot don't talk about. The wheel is a circle, it's a cycle. You have to have the downturns and the down backside of the Wheel of Fortune, even though it's represented by a very ghoulish looking representation of the game show. The Wheel of Fortune is a cycle in itself. And before you can get in the upswing of things and back on top of the world, you have to go through the ugly. And you're stressing that this is not going to happen. Well, this card here is telling you that it is happening. So keep hoping, wishing, dreaming, keep creating and manifesting. Be wary of being addicted to the woe is me, this is never going to happen to me, because there was a conflict situation here, possibly with a third party. Now, this doesn't have to mean a romantic relationship. This could just be somebody butting their nose into where it doesn't belong. And there has been an actual conflict, and now you're considering what to do next, picking up the pieces, but you're feeling a lot of luck because you're wondering when your luck is going to turn. Well, it is going to turn with the Nine of Wands on the top of the deck. That's on top of the deck. Remember that guy right from the beginning? You are going to pick yourself up through all of this after you get through the conflict and dealing with all of the fallout. You're going to be putting those burdens down. You can expect a lot of communication after the heartbreak, because you've got a Tower moment here, and this is when things are going to be shaken up for good, whether that is you leaving the situation, the relationship, the drama, leaving it all behind. This could be what comes in and causes all of the conflict as well. So finding out your partner's cheating on you, if that is a situation relevant to you. That's your Tower moment. Then you got the heartbreak, a lot of communications, a lot of burdens. I feel like this is definitely relating more to a love type situation rather than a work situation. Now, in a work situation, the shakeup could be a layoff, a strike, just karma in the workplace playing out. And the Tower moment comes in to shake you and rattle you, and it is to show you where in your foundation is no longer stable. There's a childlike curiosity when it comes to all of this, particularly in what is tangible, so what is salvageable. Seven of Cups is going to leave you with a lot of options. And even though the Eight of Swords does talk about feeling handcuffed, feeling trapped, I feel like once you've got your options, you may feel like, whoa, this is a lot, but that secret's going to be revealed. You've got the 10 of Swords, there's another 10, the ending of a painful cycle. So that is 3 10s now that you've seen. So this cycle, I feel like this conflict has already played out or is in the process of finishing. There is your movement. Maybe you are moving out, moving in, or just moving actual locations. And that could be you hoped and wished for a new job after losing your old one. I mean, the obvious is here when it comes to the relationship aspect of it. But there is movement forward coming with the Chariot, and you're doing so with a lot of inner strength, even though the strength isn't here yet. We've got the Justice card, so karma is going to play out, and this is in the upright, so it's playing out in your favor. So here is where that Wheel of Fortune starts to shift, is once you start getting that movement, you've already had your foundation shaken and rattled and stirred and whatnot, no olives. This is the end of a cycle. It's the end of a painful cycle. Karma is going to start playing out in your favor. There is a lot of movement. Let go. Queen of Cups is kind of a mesmerizing mythical feature. Let that be you. Let that be your energy coming in, showing a lot of love to yourself. And if you are somebody close who is having this play out, and this is their energy, you can embody and be that loving, more feminine energy. Be patient. You may have to wait. There's the King of Cups. So if you are the Queen of Cups and the Tower moment was all about a love situation, King of Cups is on the horizon. This is a little ways down the deck, and on the very, very bottom, Seven of Swords, Three of Wands. Three of Wands is talking about going through a transformation, waiting for the response, the answer. And the Seven of Swords is you feel like this was some sneaky, underhanded energy. There is way down on the bottom of the deck, we have the Sun card, which is happiness. The King of Pentacles is committed, loyal, wealthy. Hang on to that one. If this person coming in is your equal partner to balance your energy. So when I use king, queen, him, her pronouns, it is not necessarily to say that you are female and your other half is male, even though good chance of it being, it doesn't have to be. It is just the equivalent energies to balance out. You will always have someone who naturally gravitates to embodying a more masculine type energy, and you will have one who gravitates more towards feminine energy. So when I use king and queen, if you identify more with a masculine type energy, then when I say the king is coming in, then that is just your equivalent. And that could also be your own energy coming through. I know a little bit of, woo, that's kind of confusing. So there's always a balance when it comes to the energies. And when you see the opposite of what you identify with, then that is what you are calling in. If you see an energy that you identify with, then that is your energy coming through in the reading. Now we do have the 10 of Pentacles, which talks about abundance. So that is the end of a cycle of feeling of lack. And this is some good, it's a good ending. It's like the world. You've been through hell, and now you are starting to reap the good things after having basically suffered for so long. Two of Swords, you may be feeling like you can't understand which way your brain is going and what decision or what move to make next. Enjoy some childlike creativity. In the meantime, a little sense of adventure with the Page of Cups. There's your chrysalis phase with the Three of Wands. Your Two of Wands energy, once you make that decision, the Three of Wands is a little bit more of a period of waiting. And there's your dirty, underhanded, sneaky energy that was playing out from throughout this entire situation. And on the next bottom, we had the King of Pentacles. There's the Queen of Pentacles. So we had both the King and Queen of Cups and Pentacles show up. So there is an equivalent to a feeling of warmth and a feeling of abundance that is coming in with a potential new partnership. Now that does not have to be romantic, as I did not get any of my romance cards. And there's still quite a bit here before I see I don't see any new romance coming in the immediate future, but know that this conflict is ending. It's the end of a cycle for you, and that the Wheel of Fortune is going to start turning in your favor. So that is what is stressing you out, Scorpio. I will release these on the Sunday, so we have 2 more left. And like I said, I will do the finance and career probably closer to the end of the month. That will probably be the last one, just so you know for the next 4 weeks what is coming in for you. And I'm going to leave it here, and I'll talk to you soon.